Hi guys, welcome back. I hope everyone's doing great. So in today's video, we're doing a little unboxing and sort of a first impression, but it's really a second impression. I tested this fragrance out that I just received today at the Diptyque boutique in Manhattan, I think just a few weeks ago, and I ended up ordering a bottle. And we're talking about 34 Boulevard Saint Germain. So I ended up purchasing the eau de toilette concentration, even though this one comes in an eau de parfum as well. I tested both out on skin, and I found that the EDP was not to my liking, really. It was a little stronger, and I found it a little bit masculine leaning. I really liked the EDT on skin, so I ended up going with the EDT. Actually, what prompted me to go and test this at Diptyque is that I was recently away, and my sister and I stayed at this really cool hotel out in Washington, D.C. that had a spa, and it was really a beautiful weekend. And it was a girls' weekend away, and it was a spa sort of getaway. And the hotel had Diptyque products in the bathroom, which I thought was really cool. And they had a bar of soap from 34 Boulevard Saint Germain. So I was really loving the fragrance, and I was already sort of interested in trying this out based on some reviews by some people that I love watching. And funny enough, every time I walked into Diptyque here in the city, I would spray other ones that I was sort of interested in getting my nose on, and for some reason kept skipping over this one until I used the entire bar of soap, took one of them home with me. They were the little mini ones, and I really enjoyed the fragrance, and I made it a point to go and test this out. So I compared the EDP to the EDT on skin, and I ended up with the EDT. I received it today, and we're gonna unbox it, and I'll talk about an early impression of what this smells like to me. So 34 Boulevard Saint Germain is a 2011 release from the house of Diptyque. And I think the nose behind this fragrance is Oliver Pichot. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think I read that at some point when I was looking up what this smells like. And the note listing on the official website is quite simple, but if you go to Fragrantica, they have a host of notes, and maybe it's more accurate or maybe it's not, I'm not sure. I wasn't paying too much attention to the exact note breakdown, but just for purposes of our conversation today, I'll tell you the notes based on the official website. So they list the notes as being an amber/patchouli accord, along with rose, cinnamon, and there's a black currant bud note, which I really enjoy in fragrances. And I'm not sure if I remember it being super prominent in this one, but we will unbox and have a spray and a sniff together on camera. And basically, the fragrance was supposed to capture the scent of the flagship store at 34 Boulevard in Paris. And it's meant to capture sort of the combination of the olfactory experience that you sort of get walking into the Diptyque boutique, which would be a combination of the fragrances and the candles. And I don't know about you guys, but I think the Diptyque candles have a lot of fans. Some of them are really great smelling candles. And one of the stores here in Manhattan in the West Village is a smaller boutique than the one that I've been going to in Nolita or near Soho. And the smaller one always has a candle burning, and you walk into their boutique and it's so inviting. You start smelling all the fragrances, and you don't want to walk out of there without grabbing something, even if it's a candle. I remember a few years ago, I walked out with a bottle of D'Ossonne, the tuberose fragrance, and I always enjoy going into Diptyque boutiques. I'm a big fan of the fragrances and of the candles. And the bottles of 34 Boulevard Saint Germain, whether the EDT or the EDP, have a stem that mimics the wick of a candle. So that's the idea behind the fragrance. And this is really cute. This comes in a paisley pouch. Very nice. Very nice presentation by Diptyque. And here we go. So this is the 100 ml size bottle. And as you can see, and you've probably seen in pictures, this has been out since 2011. So this is certainly not a new fragrance here that I finally am adding to my collection. But as you can see, the stem looks like the wick of a candle. And the cap seems to be magnetic. Yes. And the top here of the cap has the 34, just like the logo on the outside of the box. So the presentation is really nice. And I can smell the fragrance from the bottle a little bit before even spraying it. But let's spray and talk about what this smells like. It's so comforting, it's so soft and cozy, and I remember thinking that this fragrance is one that's sort of really easy to wear and would make a great signature scent. What I really like about it is the balsamic qualities to this, and in the dry down that sort of really comes out, and that's the reason that I picked this one over the EDP. I was really enjoying the balsamic qualities and the resinous qualities that this has in the dry down, and it's softer than the EDP, not as sharp, and a little bit more cozy in my opinion. It's really pretty. What I'm getting in the opening is a soft sort of ambery resinous fragrance that's a little bit green, has a little bit of green touches to it, and it almost seems like there's something a little bit vanillic, but not sugary sweet. Vanillic, like the type that would be part of an amber accord, sort of warm and not sweet. The fragrance isn't sweet, and there's something a little floral that comes through. Even though there's rose listed in the note pyramid, I'm not detecting a clear rose note in here. Nor does this come off like a floral fragrance. The florals are sort of peeking through, but nothing super floral. It's just part of the composition, I think. It's really nice, and it's one of those fragrances where it's sort of hard to pinpoint and pick out the notes. For instance, even though cinnamon is listed as a note, it's not coming off as a fragrance that has an abundance of cinnamon. It has a little bit of spice, and it has a little bit of the floral peeking through that goes a little powdery. And to my nose, I'm picking up sort of a leathery, almost a soft suede texture here. I find that the balsamic qualities and the resinous qualities are what are really obvious, sort of to my nose. And even though there's an amber and a patchouli accord that they list, it's not coming off too green or too heavy on the patchouli. Patchouli is another note that's often prominent, and sometimes it's in the base, and so it's not prominent. Here, I can't say that patchouli is prominent either. It's just overall this very soft fragrance that comes at you with a warmth and sort of a soft powdery feel, and you get little bits and pieces of something a little green, something a little floral, and something balsamic, and slightly vanillic maybe in the opening, but I feel like even that sort of subsides as it dries down. So I think this is an easy to wear cozy fragrance that's really, really nice on the skin. I don't think it's loud. It was on my skin for quite some time, so I think it could be a long-lasting fragrance. I mean, I can't really talk about the performance based on the one time that I wore this. I had the EDP and the EDT on at the same time, and the EDP was definitely a stronger rendition. It's a little different than this one. It's a different play on this fragrance. I don't find too many similarities between the two. This one, to me, is like wearing something like Benjoin Bohème from Diptyque. Not that it's the same, but it's the same wear experience. Sort of a little close to the skin, easy to wear, resinous balsamic fragrance. Obviously that one is a benzoin-centric wear and fragrance. This one has more going on. And it's really nice. It really is. It's as if you take Benjoin Bohème and you add some more notes and a little bit more complexity to the fragrance. You have this. And I'm interested in buying some of the bars of soap of 34 Boulevard Saint Germain. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a clean sort of smell, but it has a warmth to it. So that's my take and my early impression, or I guess I should say my second impression, of the EDT version of 34 Boulevard Saint Germain by the House of Diptyque. Let me know if you guys are familiar with this. It's been around for a while, so I'm sure a lot of you either own this or have gotten your nose on this, and what you think if you've compared this one to the EDP. I might revisit the EDP. I remember thinking that it was a little bit masculine leaning, and I really enjoyed this one much more. It's really nice. It's a great fragrance. I think I'm going to enjoy this one. So let me know if you guys have gotten your nose on this and what you think. And as usual, thank you so much for watching, your support, and your comments. Until next time, bye guys.